Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the Generations Thrilling 30 Deluxe Class Crosscut figure. So what we're going to do with the video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We're going to have a look at the accessories that come with him to help you know if yours is complete. We will see how he compares and displays with some other figures in the same toy line, and obviously you may recognize this mold already, so we'll see how he looks and compares with other figures that have shared the same mold, including the one that was less hard to find, shall we say. So as I start to pop all these back, I'd like to remind anybody, if they've not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. So then, Thrilling 30 figures I absolutely loved because they were completely new to me. The IDW, I'm still yet to read them all. However, I was aware of this particular figure, the character name obviously, because it is Crosscut, and he is basically, it's a homage to the Diaclone version. Most people will probably know him a little bit better now. Let's just have a quick look at that head sculpt because it's beautiful, due to the fact that we've got a masterpiece version of this figure. The head, by the way, is on a ball and socket. You can see it will go all the way around. And of course I'm pretty much expecting we're going to get a legacy figure of this as well, due to the reasons we've just said, because we've got skids and dia burnout already. Articulation wise in the shoulder, it will go all the way around, but it is hindered by all the kibble on the back, which is the doors. We've got rotation at the top of the bicep. Do we? No, we don't. It just moves in. We've got extra movement there. You can see we've obviously got the ball and socket at the bicep, so you've got the flexion and the twist. We do have, oh, I've knocked the whole chest out. We do have a waist swivel. We do have ball and sockets in the hips. The knees bend, and as you can see, and this is the big problem with this particular mold, we've got like a ball and socket on the feet, and it's pretty much, it can be quite difficult to get them to balance, to be honest, and that is a common problem with all uses of this mold. However, what is good about this mold is you can see we've got like some chromed parts. You can see the metal or the paint job making it look a bit metal, reflecting on the toes, on the hands, the waist, and indeed on the head, in pretty much all of the red areas, which of course with the skids mold we didn't at all. As I say, as you can see, and I know I'm playing with carpet, which is even worse, but it is just quite a bit of a pain to get to balance. Now the accessories that come with him is this large gun and the small gun. I'm going to show you how we can use these, display these, and indeed combine these in a little bit more detail later on. This is just the first impressions part of the video. I'm also going to show you the comic that came with these, and interesting fact, the pages are actually in the wrong order. The artwork is really good, but pages 1 to 4 have been messed up, and they are in between pages 20 and 21 now, so it's probably a good job that I haven't tried to read these yet, because it would completely confuse me. But there is the great artwork on the front, and as I said, I think that's enough for first impressions. What we're going to do now, we're going to come back, he's going to be in his alternate mode, and we can have a detailed look at him like that. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, he's already in his alternate mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. Main reason is to keep the length of the video down. However, if you do want to see it, it will be separately uploaded, so you can see, I suppose, how tricky he is. It is a bit time consuming, but if you want to watch it, you can. So the alternate mode is just, I suppose, a contemporary looking little hatchback. It looks good though, really like it. Colour scheme works well. Most important thing, I suppose, with it being a car, as you can see, the wheels do spin. I'm saying that, yep, they do. They spin around unrestricted. We've got a lovely, again, bit of the red metallic reflecting just through there, but the overall paintwork and I suppose colour scheme picked for this guy just looks really good, even with the silver on the wheels, the nice trim around there. The translucent blue windows are great. They're just dark enough for you to not be able to see too much of what's going inside, but you can tell, as I say, they are translucent. Underneath, you suppose you probably can tell that it is a robot, but again, it's all tucked away, no issues whatsoever. This little gap there should be there. And again, I just think it does look really good. So we've got the 5mm ports on the side. You can attach these weapons to it any way you want. This is probably the less contemporary way of doing it, because you can see, excuse the glare, that they do stick out quite far, whereas as you can see, there's bits on the side, so if you swap them over like that, these hug the car, shall we say, that a little bit better, so they don't stick out as far. And you could, even if you wanted to, but I don't know why you'd want to in the alternate mode. I've got to confess, I don't know why you'd want to. You can combine these. You've got a giant weapon now, and again, because you've got the 5mm ports on either side, you can choose which side you wanted to attach it to. Just don't think it works, not for me anyway, in the alternate mode. It's good that you can do it, but the alternate mode I think looks more than good enough without, is everything popping out? Maybe, without having to power him up anymore. On the back of the box, what I really liked about the Thrilling 30 figures is we've got a tech spec back in it. And what I'm going to do is, for people who want to read that, I'm going to say pause, and you can just read that right now, or translate it if you need to. So there's not really much more to say about him in this mode. What we're going to do, we're going to come back then, he's going to be back in his robot mode. I'm going to show you how he can use his accessories, and indeed show you how he looks without his shoulder cannons out as well, because that's something else that you can flip out. Okay then, back for the final time, and if you're wondering why he looks a little bit different, that's because this is just plain old simple normal Crosscut, hardly armored up at all. But there's so many things that you can do, and that is why I'm a big fan of this particular mold. So the most obvious ones, of course, were these two guns here, which just fold out underneath the forearm really easily. Now the reason I haven't pushed this all the way up is because there's these twin cannons that also, you'll see if I can just get them out, there we go, these flip over. There's a much better way of doing that, but I want to show you how I can sort of do it on film. So we've got the over the shoulder cannons. I can now put this back exactly where it should go, clip on there, and then of course the big ones on the top of the shoulders, hold onto the one part of the bumper, grab the front of the wing, I think it is, and fold that down, and this will of course reveal all your heavy artillery for this figure. So you've got all them already, and that's before, again, we even put his actual weapons in his hands. So we've got the combined one, which we'll leave. This, the best thing about this is, because it is so big, it can sort of counterbalance him and make him a bit easier to pose, but not too much. In fact, that's not too bad actually, looking at that. But because he's got the two weapons, and as you'll see in a second when I do some comparisons, I like to completely go over the top, power him up, put them all in his hands, and indeed just do exactly this, sort of completely, as I say, power him up and make him look, yeah, pretty formidable, to be honest. Right, let's move these out of the way. So this was I think, well, I'm trying to think, I know it's Burnout, but I think I'm getting confused because the newer version is known as Dire Burnout, so I might be getting a little confused. This was, again, part of the BotCon exclusives use of the mold, and it's really interesting and really obvious when you say it and you have a look now. Pretty much all the BotCon figures that we used to get and Collectors Club versions, this of course is the original owner of the mold, which is Skids, are all what we would now class as Generation Selects, aren't they? So if you have a look at the figures, as I say, that you did get on BotCon, they were like this. They were the ones, we had our own lift ticket, etc. But now we have Generation Selects where they're more mainstream, so it's great that we can get them with that. So that's the uses of the same mold. This is, of course, Orion Pax from the same toy line, so he's a little bit bigger than him. If you want to see how he compares, I suppose, to some of today's standard figures, there again is another Diaclone homage. That's exactly why he's there. And in fact, funny enough, I've got another one behind. This sort of gives away all the videos I've been doing recently, but a more sort of standard size deluxe figure, shall we say, like Mirage. Yeah, he's just a bit taller than them. So overall, as I say, really good figure, looks great, displays really well. And what I really liked about these was the fact that they did have all comics and things as well. Right, I need to move all these because I can see the glare isn't that good. And I suppose just round off, summarize, I think it's a great figure. You may look to be adding into your collection, however I strongly suspect, due to the fan art, not the fan art, due to the art in the Legacy Evolution that we've seen, that we're going to get a new version of this guy anyway. But for now, this is the only version that I've got. I hope you enjoyed looking at him. Hope it helped with your decision if you wanted to get one for yourself. Let me know in the comments, guys, and take care.